Billboard's Hot 100. Want to do one more from Billboard's Hot 100 tonight. I'm going to resume doing the 60s tomorrow night because there's still some more records I want to do from Billboard's Hot 100 the week of September 12th, 1964, and also September 3rd, 1966. More Lost 45s to cover. I know I'm being redundant. I know that. I know. Just, the only thing I can ask you is just bear with me. From 67 to 48, jumping 19 notches the week of September 12, 1964, The Impressions, You Must Believe Me. Curtis Mayfield, lead vocals. I marvel at Curtis Mayfield, his career. Now here's the thing about Curtis Mayfield. As lead singer of The Impressions, he strikes an optimistic gospel chord. Black Pride Records. Hopeful note. Songs like Keep On Pushing. Let's keep on doing it. And People Get Ready, 1965. Where a winner, it's almost like self-help and social consciousness tied together in that one record. We're a winner from 1968. Curtis Mayfield with The Impressions. Then Curtis Mayfield leaves The Impressions in 1970. His first big solo hit in 1971, summer of 71, and the record was called, well, early 71 rather, went to number 29. The first record, Don't Worry, If There's a Hell Below, We're All Going to Go. Boy, talk about a 360-degree turn from the days of Keep On Pushing and Amen in 1964. Then he comes out with other songs of despair, like Freddie's Dead, Superfly. The social consciousness is still there, but a lot less optimistic, much more grittier, in your face, more street. Curtis Mayfield. He goes back, though. The Roosters started out in Tennessee. They moved to Chicago. When they moved to Chicago, they added a couple of guys who knew each other. They sang together in church choirs. Curtis Mayfield and Jerry Butler. Jerry Butler and The Impressions had that song Your Precious Love, one of the signature prom hits from 1958. One of those cuddly, snuggy, wuggy records, you slow dance with your partner with. 1958, Jerry Butler. But now I'm going to try to keep this as straight as I can because I'm a little bit confused about how The Impressions sort of splintered up. The original members, by about 1961, it might have been a little bit earlier, the original members of The Impressions left the band. That would be Jerry Butler. Jerry Butler had that successful solo career in the early 60s. And there was Richard and Arthur Brooks, who were the original founding members of the Roosters. That was one part of the group. The other part of the group, which included Curtis Mayfield, Sam Golden, and they added another guy. His name was Fred Cash. They signed with the ABC Paramount Records and in the early 60s, and they teamed up with a producer named Johnny Pate, who was formerly a jazz bass player, and they created this lush gospel sound, The Impressions. And Gypsy Woman was a pretty big hit for them. That was in 1960. And then, of course, the others came along later on in the 60s. Woman Got Soul, one of their best records out of 1965. Motown-sounding record. And by the way, the song You Must Believe Me came from the album People Get Ready, released in 1965. Went number 1 on R&B. The Impressions, You Must Believe Me, would go up to number 15 on Billboard's Hot 100. Here it is, Curtis Mayfield and The Impressions. You Must Believe Me.